One. It's a public broadcasting announcement. Beep, beep, beep. Why do they do that when they interview people in the interrogation? Popcorn Pundits. Week 78. It hasn't changed.
There we go.
Why are we doing this?
Do you know what? I haven't got a fucking clue.
We will ask ourselves that every day.
I've waited 78 weeks to hear Nikki shout bollocks at
Yeah,
us.
exactly.
Which was,
I didn't shout it.
Yeah,
it was kind of quite an empowered vocal blast.
it was. It was indeed.
Wow.
It's your Popcorn Pundits, it's your trio of cinema lovers. We like to dissect movies, put them back together again, and present them to you like a lovely little picture.
Thank God we do.
Aren't we just?
Yeah, thank God we enjoy doing it, because it's
Sometimes.
Yeah.
It's great.
yeah. Be interesting to see what what we can.
What we can come up with this week.
Yeah.
So this week we went to see 3 films, and also Nikki's going to do her Nikki sequel. There's no more homework anymore now because Peter doesn't have enough time. But I think 3 films is enough this week, don't you think?
Oh, it's going to be enough because you saw all 3 of them. So this is going to be like an. Leo, get your comfy trainers on, mate, on the treadmill because you're going to be here for hours.
Lawrence, I'd put this on 1.5, not 1.2.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to be listening to this all day long. So the format of the show is Peter does a top 10. We do our film reviews. Nikki does her sequel, and then we say goodbye.
That's basically it.
That's pretty much.
There is some warbling and some kind of losing your
A little bit of
pathway.
distraction.
Yeah, exactly.
Peter McPete, would you like to crack on with the UK and Ireland's top 10, please?
Yeah, sure. So number 10 this week is a film called Kerosene, Chapter 2.
It's the untold story of Jallianwala Bagh.
Yeah.
And it's an Indian Hindi language historical courtroom drama film.
Okay. Courtroom drama.
Yeah.
You can't handle the truth.
Number
that sort of thing.
9, the King of Kings. I'm going to try and keep you on track today
Yeah.
because you've
Good
got a
luck,
lot
Peter.
to say. The King of Kings.
Yes.
King of Kings is an animation, and it's renowned writer Charles Dickens
heard of him.
shares the story of Jesus Christ with his son,
Does he?
who's called Walter.
Walter Dickens.
As his father narrates the stirring tale, Walter becomes captivated with the events of Jesus' life.
Does he now? Don't know anything about this.
Dickens
And
cider.
it's based on the.
How does she feel about that?
It's based on The Life of Our Lord by Charles Dickens.
Oh, that's nice.
Number
Know
8
nothing
is,
about it.
Number 8 is the film that we both went to see this week, Drop.
Yes.
And it's just Drop. It's not The Drop. It's
I
not
know.
A Drop.
The Drop was one with Tom Hardy in it.
In 2014.
I think it's right.
Wasn't it also a TV quiz show with Davina McCall?
Oh yeah, and Tom Hardy. That was great. on ITVX.
No, you won't be dropping that.
Number 7. Oh, you can interrupt me. You ain't funny. That's really
Okay.
good. Excellent. 7, 6, the musical.
Oh, that grates you, doesn't it?
No, I like it.
You don't mind that? Is that
7,
okay?
6, the musical, and that makes Nikki very happy because it's still in the charts and it's flying.
Yeah,
Good.
but I'm sad it's at number 7, not at number 1.
Can't be number 1 forever. Not like Paddington.
Yeah, it still is. Number 6, Disney's Snow White. We haven't been to see it. I didn't go to see the cinema enough this week. I'm sorry. I should have gone to see that. I didn't.
Don't
5,
you worry yourself, Speedy.
No, I'm not going to worry, but I'm just going to go a lot this week. So number 5 is Warfare, which is one of the films that you saw. I say 24. I didn't realise that.
Oh, yeah. I clocked that straight away.
I bet you did.
Oh,
Where else do
yeah.
you think he went?
4, The
Yes.
Amateur.
Yes, which we went to see last week. Walt Disney, thank you.
Yeah.
We did have a review written to us by Crispin. He quite liked it, which did surprise me.
Yeah.
What's the next number? That was such a dismissive yeah.
I mean, I think he's going to cinema quite a lot at the moment. So
Okay,
maybe
good.
we should bring him in to do a live review
That
or
would be
something.
fantastic.
Everyone's always welcome to do reviews on the podcast.
They absolutely are, because reviews are subjective, and I'm not allowed an opinion on any of them.
What's the next one?
Number 3, The Penguin Lessons. I want to see this. It's got Penguin in it.
Oh,
Me too.
this is the one with
Steve
Steve
Coogan.
Coogan.
And a penguin.
And a penguin.
Yeah.
Right, we do need to see this. Let's do an outing. We need to watch this.
So it says an Englishman experiences personal and political changes after adopting a penguin during a turbulent time in Argentina's history.
Wow. Political.
Who's the dude? Well, who's the English actor that plays Captain Marvel? You know, the one in the cape. The
Captain
maybe not Captain Marvel. What's he called? The Marvel character wears a cape.
There's lots of them.
No, and he's like magical and floats and.
You're talking about Vision.
No, I'm not. Not the one. Not the red one.
You're talking about Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. Yeah.
Yes.
Have you? What's the actor called?
Cumberbatch.
Cumberbatch. Have
Yes.
you seen Cumberbatch's documentary about playing penguins?
I have
And,
not.
and he says the word penguin so often that
Yes.
he forgets how to say the word.
I've heard
yes,
about this.
I've seen
And he was in an
this.
interview and he
That's
couldn't
right,
pronounce
yeah.
it.
That's
Yes.
very funny. Anyway, number 2, Sinners, which is the other film that you saw this week and I didn't.
That's right.
We're going to be
Warner
sat here
Brothers.
just literally saying nothing for like an hour.
Your own fault.
I bought cushions in a duvet.
If you bought a book
Yeah,
with
ready.
you.
Number 1, a Minecraft movie.
Warner Brothers.
No one's got anything to say about that. Okay.
Well, to be fair, we both enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good.
My son loved it. He laughed all the way through it. Everybody who's seen it, I've spoken to, has enjoyed it to a certain extent. There are some people slagging it off who haven't seen it, which is weird.
Oh, I hate people who do that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, they're nasty. My son was showing me videos of bollocks. My son was showing me videos of like some of the crazy fans who have been watching Minecraft, and like one of them where like popcorn goes flying absolutely everywhere, and then some blokes brought a live chicken into the cinema, which we do not we do not condone.
That's a horrible idea.
It's really funny.
I was going to say, please, I'm so glad you told James that after he's seen it.
We're going to go see it again this week, don't we, James?
Live chicken.
Yeah,
Here we go. Or might have been a KFC.
Are you going to get one from Coper's Farm?
On the back of a sheep.
Exactly.
Okay, and that is this week's top 10 in the UK and Ireland up until the 22nd of April. You're welcome.
What are we going to recommend for people like that top 10?
Well, we don't know yet because
Six.
you're 6.
6, obviously.
Yeah.
Um,
Minecraft movie's really, really good.
Minecraft movie.
There can be nothing wrong with the penguin lesson.
Can't be anything
I
like
was
that.
just
Can't
about
be
to
anything
say,
wrong with it.
even though we haven't seen it, it's on my list to go see it.
If you're one of those people that likes a nap at the cinema, I'll go and see The Amateur.
Or should they?
Yeah.
Or should they? I don't know what that means. But yeah.
Nikki,
Yes.
what order are you doing the films in?
Well, I was thinking we should probably do a pizza sandwich.
Yeah, you're the ham.
On the Peter.
Yeah.
So as
the
you
bread.
both saw the drop, we'll do the drop second.
Okay.
So do you want Sinners first or Warfare first?
I think you mentioned Sinners first, so let's do
Let's
Sinners.
do Sinners first.
Comfy?
I mean, don't have a choice, do we?
Okay, this film is called Sinners.
I was really looking forward to seeing this, and I
Yeah.
couldn't because I was just absolutely knackered last night. But
You're going to enjoy it.
the
You
trailer,
are going to enjoy it.
The trailer looks right up my street.
Yeah.
So from the trailer, the
Yes.
image I had in my head was Angel Heart.
Okay.
That's what I got straight away from the
Yeah,
trailer, and I was
yeah,
just
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
thinking, okay, this is going to be
Yeah.
this is going to be a film which is going to be like in the deep south of the states.
Very much so.
It's going to be kind of witch doctory, and there's going to be kind of demons and there's an attack on a barn and there's
That's exactly what it is. And do you know what, though? However, when you look at the trailer, you think it's all going to be based in the barn, it's going to start in the
did.
barn, finish in the barn, and end in the barn. And that's what you think it's going to be. But you don't get that, okay? What you do is the barn is pretty much near the end of the movie. What you do is you get a whole story before the barn.
oh cool.
And it's not a short movie, it's quite a long movie, and I haven't written down how long it takes. But it's... What was a big surprise? I'll go through the storyline in a second. But what the big surprise with this film is how big it is, how epic it is. It's a lot bigger. The trailer gives nothing away about how big this movie is.
So now I'm thinking Sound of Music.
Well, no, there's a lot of story. There's a lot of character development. You get to know every single one of the characters as they go along, and you see that you build an affection towards certain characters. But what's really quite clever also is obviously. Michael B. Jordan plays 2 roles in this movie.
Oh, there's twins, isn't there?
That's correct.
I've heard a rumour.
He's a handsome, handsome man. He's one of the only men, I would say, that can pull off a moustache and a vest and still look cool. Okay.
I don't think you believe that.
No, I do. Honestly, but there was somebody grumbling down below when I was watching this. I have to say, I was
like many a men in
I was very, very. So this is an R-rated, violent movie, which I was very, very pleased about.
Okay.
Okay, so you're 100% right. It's New Orleans, Deep South, turn of the century. They're all wearing really cool braces and wide trousers, lots of pleats, lots of big heavy brogues, lots of cars. You've got to wind up to start, that sort of thing. So you get the
I'm there, mate.
You're there. The cast is primarily black to begin with for the first 3 quarters of this film, and the music it's got a sort of fantastic sort of blues all the way through. The soundtrack of this movie is very, very good. However, the soundtrack then ends up being almost a fight-off between good and evil, and the good versus the evil are represented by 2 different types of music, which is also quite interesting.
You really pick up on soundtracks.
I love a good soundtrack.
I always get kind of sucked in with it, but I never kind of remember it afterwards.
Yeah.
You always take it home with you.
So what to take home from this movie is this is exactly how I thought it would be in reference to plot and with the creation of the horror and the tension all the way through this movie. It's technically Dusk Till Dawn. Yeah, exactly. Technically Dusk Till Dawn, but without the Tarantino quip.
And Salma Hayek with the snake.
However, it's very sexy, this movie.
Yeah,
there's lots of sexy scenes going in this movie as well. Lots of hip movements all the way through it as well.
That's just James
that's
watching
just
it.
me watching it. The performances by every single one of these actors almost puts aside the fact that this is a horror movie. Traditionally, horror movies would almost allow you to do a fairly sort of subplot or fairly sort of substandard performance because the horror and the special effects takes over at one point. But this actually stands alone as a film before even the horror begins. Very similar in a Dusk Till Dawn sort of way.
Yeah, so quite often in horror, hammy acting is almost expected, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's just...
Yeah. So there's some sterling performances by a lot of the cast in this film. It's there's elements of True Blood, which my wife brought up, which I never watched. True Blood. There's also elements of The Witch and also Moonlight as well, which is a beautiful movie as well. I would say it's dark, it's dingy, it's sexy, it's a fantastic soundtrack. I'm not going to give too much away because, quite frankly, the plot itself is not that complicated. It's a very simple plot, but the scenes are done really, really well. I give it a massive tick. I'm giving it 8.5.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
We've got to scores already. That's quite a thing.
No, I thought I'd go straight in because I know we've got a lot to get through, and also, as I said before, the plot is not that complicated. It is literally, you're right, there's demons, there's vampires. I won't give any of that plot away because that sort of develops in a slightly different direction. The special effects are fantastic. It is quite gory. It's gory enough to be classified as a horror, but it's not. It doesn't have the tension of an A24 movie. So this could have easily been a Blumhouse or something like that in that respect. But no, 8.5. Do you have any facts for me, Nikki?
So it's actually 2 hours and 17 minutes.
Holy shit!
Honestly, you don't notice it. Honestly, you really, really. That's how good this film is. The time just goes.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway.
Ryan Coogler said 2 of his biggest influences from the film, were from Dusk Till Dawn, which is from 1996, and The Faculty, which is from 1998, and both of them are directed by Robert Rodriguez.
Yes.
Christopher Nolan and his producing partner / wife Emma Thomas assisted Ryan in shooting with a 65mm film.
That's why it felt so epic. Obviously, because they were using proper big filming on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jack O'Connell signed on despite only getting to read the script once, as his character would be singing Irish folk music, which is apparently a dream come true for a fan of the genre.
I'm not giving anything away about that bit.
Well, there we go.
Just trying to see if there's any others without spoilers.
Yes.
This is Miles Catton's film debut. And the Smokestack twins are named after Smokestack Lightning by the band Howlin' Wolf.
Oh, all right, okay then. I mean, one thing I can say about Michael B. Jordan playing 2 roles, traditionally you can get quite wound up by an actor playing two roles. And
you hate it.
And we came across this with the monkey, and they did it really well in the monkey, didn't they? However, I thought the other brother was a little bit hammy, but I think it added to the whole humour of it. However,
same actor.
Same actor. However, in this instance, the actor plays his two characters. Obviously, they play twins. Obviously, so they're close enough personality-wise to get away with that. Him playing himself almost twice, but there's some developments within the film which work really, really well, and their independent story plots work really, really well as well. So yeah, kudos to the idea of splitting him into two and getting twice as much out of him.
It's currently 8.2 on IMDb.
Yeah, it's worth it.
And I just saw a really good fact and I've now lost it. This is the second R-rated horror film to be shot with IMAX film cameras.
Oh, really?
Do you know what the first one was? It was in 2022.
Oh, IMAX horror. Oh, no.
Close. It was called Nope.
Of course, yes, Nope, yes, exactly. Mr. Peel. Yes, indeed. Well done for that, though. Well done for the exactly. I did a P and E. You set me up like a Blake Capper.
Oh, you like said about Piers Brosnan.
Yeah.
When he's singing.
Yeah. So there you go. That is Sinners. Go and see it at the cinema. If you'd like a good horror movie, I'd recommend going to see it on a Friday or a Saturday night. It's a blast from start to finish. It's very entertaining. Kudos.
Awesome.
There you go. Right, next one.
Are you comfortable? Do you need to take your hat and coat off?
No, I'm fine.
I feel like also he's talking very fast, so poor Lawrence is going to wonder what's going on.
So we went to cinema on Monday.
We did.
And we saw a film called Drop.
We did.
Yes. It's the first time we've been to the cinema together for a little while, wasn't it?
It is, yes.
You turned up very late.
I turned up just on time.
You turned up just on time.
As the final trailer was playing together, and I sat down, film started. Perfect timing as far as I'm concerned.
You've got that down pat now, haven't you?
I have indeed.
Okay, so Drop is an hour and 35 minutes.
It is.
And we've been seeing the trailer for this for quite some time, haven't we? And basically the premise of the film is that there's a couple going on a date.
That's right.
And she is airdropped a message.
Hence the word drop.
Yeah. And drop is a different type of airdrop type of thing, which I don't know about because I'm too old for technology.
I do airdrop all the time. I love airdrop.
Yes, I understand airdrop, but this other one wasn't airdrop. It was a different one. That's the bit I didn't understand.
Yeah, no, nor did I.
I understand the airdrop.
I think they made a new bit technology up.
Do you reckon it's not real technology?
I think they've manipulated airdrop, turned it into drop because as we know later on, usually with airdrop you have to accept the image being sent to you, don't you?
Yeah, she had to accept every single message that she was sent as well.
Absolutely. Right. Anyway, so carry on.
Okay, that's a great conversation with no conclusion. So we are entering the realm of Violet, who is a therapist. She's a very, very good therapist, and she helps lovely ladies get through problems in their lives and feel better about themselves, which is a wonderful, wonderful thing.
She does, and they establish that right at the beginning of the movie.
This is, for a film that's an hour and 35 minutes long, the build-up felt like it was the start of like a much longer, more substantial movie than what we were actually going to see. It was really patiently built up. And actually, the beginning of the film, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I thought it was really nicely developed.
It was.
So we've
and you're not very similar to Sinners, because initially the trailer, you think it's just going to be bish bash bosh in the restaurant, lots of action.
Yeah.
But you don't really. And that's what you're right. At the start of the movie, you go, hang on a minute, she's at home with a kid.
Yeah.
And she's talking to her sister,
and it's quite quite a smart build up and development.
I agree.
And the kind of impression I got through the film was that there was a writer and a director basically stood with an empty whiteboard, writing down characters' names and then creating a spider's web across the whiteboard of like how they can interact and
with bits of string.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I like the idea.
Those magnetic pins.
Yeah, it's a whodunit type thing.
Yeah. So Violet has a little son called Toby, and we understand that the father of Toby and her husband is no longer with us.
That's right.
And her sister comes over to babysit. And Violet is she's not dated anybody for years. She was the victim of a a brutal husband who died.
That's right.
And so she's now a widower. And she basically decides that finally, after years and years, she's going to go on a date. And she's been on a dating app. And she finds this very, very lovely and handsome photographer called, what was his name?
Henry.
And so basically, this is the setup that she's going out on this date, and she's going to meet this guy. So the sister comes around to babysit and helps her sister kind of choose a slightly
sexier outfit,
sassy red velvet dress.
That's right.
And
you go, girl.
Yeah. So Violet is played by Megan Fahey.
She is.
And I thought she was pretty good in this, actually. I really enjoyed her acting in this. I thought she played it pretty well. So she basically turns up at this restaurant, which is called Palette.
Yes.
And it's, it was basically set up to be quite a pretentious, like high up in a skyscraper type fine dining restaurant.
Looking over the whole of the city.
Yeah.
From a really, really high point.
And she turns up early.
When you're having scrambled eggs.
Walks through this wooden skeletal corridor, and she walks into this restaurant, and she kind of bursts into a big, broad smile. She kind of feels like she's left all the problems behind her.
That's right.
And she's walked into this restaurant.
New little mini adventure for her.
Yeah, she's going to have a lovely date with a lovely photographer. She instantly bumps into a guy called Connor, and they drop phones and they pick phones up.
Yeah.
And
but they don't know each other.
No, they're just a
when
random...
you say dropped into each other, it literally was a physical...
Sorry, I didn't know I said that badly.
No, because when they bumped into each other, it sounded like they knew each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
They don't know. She bumps into someone who she doesn't know called Connor.
There you go. Thank you.
There we go. And then she has a chat with a barmaid called Cara. And then she meets and then she gets approached by this guy called Richard, who's like an older guy, and he basically asks if she's a certain lady who she isn't. Yeah. And he's just like, oh well, I'm on a blind date, so So basically, at this point, we can see that there is a kind of like a mystery element to this film, which
they're
is basically
setting out.
They're setting it all out. Yeah, that's right. They're putting out their camp chairs. They're doing all that malarkey.
Just for us.
Just for us.
Just for us. Just for us watchers. They're doing it for us.
Yeah, that's how plot works.
Yeah.
And anyway, so then we get to Henry arriving and the plot.
And he is handsome, isn't he?
He's a very handsome fellow.
Yeah.
And he's very cool and very nice.
Yeah.
And then the first drop arrives.
That's right.
And she doesn't want to accept it because she's on a date. And then...
It's basically the indication, isn't it? The phone pings, she looks at it and she goes, oh, drop. And then he explains to her, doesn't he? Because she's not quite...
drop works,
yeah, she's not 100% sure how it works initially.
Yeah, absolutely. Basically, there has to be a person within a certain circumference of your phone. So like 50 yards, they'd say in the States, wouldn't they? So they go on a little adventure to try and work out who it is. He goes on a little tour around. And... this was one of the things that's really annoying.
And it's not even a menacing picture to begin with, isn't it? It's literally just weird pictures.
They think it's probably the teenage kids who are on a table because they finished their
university
college.
The prom kids.
Yeah, that's right. And then she thinks it's probably Connor because he's a bit of a slimy little cheeseball. She goes to confront Connor and basically says,
"Excuse me,"
about to, and he's just like, "Can I help you?" And she's just like, just trying to work out what he's doing. He's like, well, I'm just waiting for my sister to arrive.
Yes.
And she's like, oh, are you now?
Are you now? Your sister.
Sounds fishy.
And then the waiter turns up.
Yes. Oh, the waiter, Matt.
No, I personally felt the waiter was the best character in the entire film.
He absolutely made this
smashed
film.
It, didn't
absolutely made it. And he basically... He was an Amdram student.
He was.
Oh no, he wasn't an Amdram student. He was.
Might as well have been.
What do they call it when you don't go by the script? You go help me with my vocabulary.
Oh yeah, I know exactly. He does. I know exactly. It starts with an A.
Yes, it does.
It does.
Come on. Yes.
Ad-lib.
Yeah, ad-libbing.
That's right.
And basically, he was just like, oh, so what are you guys celebrating? And they're just like, oh, it's our first date. And he goes, oh my God, it's my first shift. And I was just like, James is in love with this man already. But
initially you go, first shift, Amdram, bit over the top, went straight for these couple to serve them. You think so? He's also on our list now. The list is compiling, isn't it?
Yeah, everyone in the restaurant was on the list, basically, weren't they? But anyway, then we go through this whole series of... she answers one of these things, and she basically is being challenged to kill her date.
That's as simple as that.
That's the plot.
I mean, it says it even says it in the advert.
Yes.
So there's no surprise there. at all. I was actually quite surprised by the amount of characters they brought into this as red herrings. I was quite pleasantly surprised by that. Did you know this is a Blumhouse movie, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was pleasantly surprised by the amount of noise it was making in the background as the time goes on. But obviously, to keep this film going on to a climactic end, to find out who did it, or who's going to do it, or who's and why, it takes a long time. It felt like it took a long time to get there.
There's one massive problem with this film, which is basically the couple spend most of the film apart from each other.
That's
and
right.
then keep coming back to the table.
That's right.
And basically suggesting that they're having a really great date.
Yeah.
And it seems
For an
like
hour
the
and a half.
worst date on the entire planet. Not because of the all the awful stuff that's happening, simply because they basically spent the whole evening just sat there on their own while the other one buggers off and does something because of the drop app or whatever.
Absolutely,
Which made it, for me, it just made it feel like it was absolute nonsense.
Well, at one point, her date has a look on his face, and he gives that like, because every 5 minutes she drops something to distract him, or she'll go and talk to somebody, or she'll basically not acting like a normal date at all. And
and she's kind of trying to make out that this is because her sister's looking after her son, and actually it's not these drops which are happening. It's the sister getting in contact with her because of worried about the son.
And she keeps going to the toilet. But there is a very particular point within the movie where he just gives this. And just looks at her. And it's like, I'm not really amused by this at all. And in fact, I'm starting to get a little bit fed up with it. And I was starting to feel that way as well. Because what you've got with this movie is you've got continuous foreplay.
Do you think he was thinking about leaving it though?
You've got continuous foreplay.
And
nothing happens. You get teased all the time. Something's going to happen. Something's going to happen. And you know nothing's going to happen until the end. And that's what's annoying about this film. They're not going to give away the supposed threat halfway through the movie.
I just think this is another one of those classic horrors that we've seen over the last couple of years, where it's basically a really great concept, and then they should have realised that actually when they started putting it together, that it just doesn't play out.
No.
There's just they had to put in so many characters and so much content and so many red herrings, as you put it. And to me, by the end of it, I was just like, it's only an hour and a half long. I could really do with this ending, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you end up not caring. You end up going, just kill her.
Exactly right.
Just kill her. And him. And the son. And the sister. Kill them all.
Little specky twat. He's horrible.
He's actually very annoying.
Really annoying.
And at one point, what really annoyed me was at one point where the child acting goes beyond what it should have done, and I won't ruin the plot at the end. But he does something near the end, and you look at it and go, "No, I'm sorry, that's not working for me in the slightest."
No.
So yes, I think we both had a similar reaction to this film.
Yeah, we try and not tell each other.
It's so weird at the end of the movies, isn't it?
Yeah, we try not to speak about the movie, or literally speak about anything
Yes.
other than the movie. You gave me the biggest eye roll at the end of this film, and I was just like, fucking hate it. Yeah.
I wasn't impressed.
No, I'm giving it a 5.
You're giving it a 5. Nikki, I give it a 5.1.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, which is not great.
It's very rare that we agree.
Very rare.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you too many facts because they're all spoilers.
Well.
But I will give you. So the funniest thing is the main character is called Violet.
Yes.
And she's played by someone called Megan, and then Jen, the sister, is played by someone called Violet.
Huh.
Just thought I'd let you know that.
Yeah.
Did you recognise the girl who played Violet?
No.
She was. I read that she was in the White Lotus series 2, I think.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Okay, and then she was also in a show that I enjoyed called The Bold Type.
Oh, I haven't seen it either.
It's on
The Bulge Type.
The Bold. Bold. Yes, as in like a font.
Like me. Oh.
No, as in
You're
like,
a bold type.
and Violet, who plays Jen, is known for Death and Other Details, which was a film that was out last year, and The Flash.
Yes, I didn't mind The Flash. I didn't mind it at all. Go on.
Oh, sorry, no, go on.
The director did Freaky and also Happy Death Day, and I actually quite rated Happy Death Day. and they've also done Happy Death Day 2, which had a very unusual sort of way it plotted. But I thought the opening credits felt like Final Destination, which disappointed me greatly because it wasn't Final Destination. Sorry, Nikki.
That's okay. So this... Oh, sorry, Peter, you were about to say something.
I was. That there is a new Final Destination coming out, which is
very
one of the trailers that we went to see.
I'm very excited.
And after having seen Monkey, the setup for the new Final Destination movie...
It's literally...
It's
yeah. I mean, yeah, but for all Final Destination movies are, we're actually watching all 7 in a row at the moment before the other one comes out, and we're doing exactly the same with Mission Impossible as well at the moment. Once a week, we're watching one of them as week goes on, and then when the final one comes in, we watch the final one.
Wow! And you'll just drop into the last.
Good. I like it. Drop. This was actually loosely inspired by an experience at a dinner party that Olivia Sue had with her partner, who is the executive producer Sam Lerner, and their friend, who's producer Cameron Fuller, where Sue kept receiving random Shrek memes via airdrop.
So it was airdrop. It wasn't.
It was just a concept.
That's all it
should have
was.
just left it at that.
At the dinner table.
It could have been a Black Mirror episode.
Yeah, it just felt like a drawn out TV film. Didn't
I agree. Yes.
Yep.
That's it.
Done.
Do you want to warfare it then?
Let's warfare it.
Yeah.
I think I looked out this week. Massively. I saw two fantastic films, and you went to see the bad film with me, unfortunately.
I picked the shitter.
Well, I was thinking when I sat there and you went, I'm going to go and see Sinner tomorrow night. I thought, oh, thank God he's going to go and see a decent movie.
Yeah.
You should have went to see Warfare as well, honestly.
I will go and see both.
Now, Warfare, A24 movie. It reeks of Black Hawk Down, The Hurt Locker, a little bit of Saving Private Ryan as well, just to give you an idea about the sort of level that we're working at here. We are...
I heard a great fact about Saving Private Ryan this week.
Oh yeah.
That during the pre-filming period of the film, everyone was made to do the military training apart from what's his face, Ryan, and that was basically to build hatred between the actors and him in real life. Which I think
that's a great idea.
Brilliant. Isn't it?
I like. See, then he turns up all fresh, and
exactly.
and they're going, "All right, and
shit,
so that obviously oozed across as well, which it did come across that well as well.
Really great technique. I thought it was really
and also
smart.
Ted Danson's in it as well, which really freaked me out completely.
It's nearly 3-hour film, Saving Private Ryan.
It is. So this is a film that's based in. And now I'll have to excuse me about my my geography. I think it's Iraq, if I'm not mistaken. You might get my producer. And it follows the US soldiers on a mission to. It's a reconnaissance mission to go and basically, they are the US Marines. And they're going to basically go and find somebody and draw them out of the conflict.
Extraction.
Thank you very much. You extracted that word out of me. Thank you very, very much.
It was difficult.
Yes. Now, what's fascinating about this film is it starts straight away. As in, there's no build-up, there's no character development, there's no introduction of each person, there's no home life that you get, when they're with the kids.
Well, Civil War did that as well, didn't it?
Straight in there, straight.
Bish bash bosh as soon as you...
Alex Garland, same director.
That's why I said it.
Exactly. So I've said this once and I've said this many, many times. I think Alex Garland's Civil War and I think this film are both two precursors to 28 Years Later. I think it's all to do with the military, all to do with the warfare, all to do with the warfare, and all to do with sort of the military aspect of a 28 Years Later, which I'm very, very excited about. So you start immediately with an interesting. The only excerpt that you see that is not part of the action is there's only 2 tracks at the start in this movie. One is at the very start of this movie, and one is at the very end of this movie.
Oh, seriously?
And there's no soundtrack at all during the entire movie. All you get is gunfire and shouting.
Wowzers.
All the way through. So you really feel that you're watching a documentary in that respect. And there's even moments of silence, there's moments of uncertainty, there's moments of not knowing at all what they're doing. It feels quite haphazard in some cases, which really emphasises that whole the sort of documentary element to it as well. I won't give away the two juxtapositions of the two tracks at the beginning and the end, because I think they're quite poignant, and I think they work really, really well. So I won't give that away. You've got an incredible cast. Everybody knows who the cast are. You know, you've got the likes of Will Poulter. You've got Matey Boy from Stranger Things, and he also did Quiet Place, and he's also going to be the new Fantastic Four as well. Massive brown eyes he's got. Anyway, so you've got an assortment of 6 or 8 soldiers, U.S. Marines, and they get stuck in a situation where they're just completely cornered in an extraction point, and they're desperately trying to use their comms to get out as much as they can, but it's just constant bombardment of missiles and shooting and shouting and fear and uncertainty and wait, and then there's moments of waiting, which is really, really interesting. They're just waiting for the extraction point, which is really quite stressful as well. So you've got this group of soldiers who get stuck in an extraction point, and the whole movie, what we're looking at really is them asking to be extracted out. And the brutal aspect of this film is another character of this film. The Alex Garland doesn't shy away from some brutality, doesn't shy away from gore. So you have these horror elements, but they're done in such a realistic way. It's actually even more horrific because it's not a horror movie. This is a true documentation of exactly what's gone on, and because you know this is based on a true story, because you know that the feet on the floor and the direction of the action has been actually helped by the original soldiers. And Alex Garland has actually taken that on board. He's actually brought them onto set, and they've actually been showing him whereabouts the extractor was going. Yeah, so
we know some make it out there.
Exactly. I can't go into too many details, but it's stressful. It's just brilliant. It's very, very good.
You need a film like this to be angsty, though, don't you?
Yes.
You need to have that kind of
But very similar in a similar sort of way. It is literally just the acting, the action, and the directing of this film keeps you completely stuck in the seat.
Because Civil War kind of turned into a bit of a road movie, didn't it?
It did, yes.
And this sounds like the opposite. If they're kind
massively,
of massively,
and you can't really. It's weird because they're two almost identical genres, whereas Civil War is actually a lot more poetic in its writing, and the sort of the road movie aspect of it and the character development in it is a lot more quintessential in a classic movie setup, whereas this is not at all. You do get to know the characters, but only by the way that they're shouting at each other. You only really pick up their names briefly. There's no in-depth talks about their background. You don't really get to sit down and go, oh well, I joined the army because of this, and you don't get that background at all. So you're grasping for information about these characters as the film goes on, and it gives you little snippets, but you don't really need that much at all because you're taken away by the action so much. But yet again, the action is not heroic. It's literally just trying to save themselves. That's all they're trying to do, is just save themselves. So there's no, I'm going to go out there and shoot them all and, I'm going to save the day. There's no one point where one of the characters turns around and goes, he doesn't do a Rambo.
Yeah.
There's none of that going on there at all. It's so much more realistic in that respect. And the pain that some of them go through is so realistic. And the angst and the torture that some of them have to put up with because they're waiting to be picked up. And the amount of morphine injections that they use to just literally get away, to take the edge off the pain, is really, really it's beautiful to watch as a viewer. I really, really thought it was an amazing film, and you're going to love it.
Awesome!
You're really. So that you've got Flow, you've got Sinners, and you've got Warfare.
Yeah.
These are 3 films you have to watch.
I will set a lot of time aside this week, and I'll go and see as many of those as I can.
So it's mainly filled with handheld cameras, which really emphasise that whole sort of chaotic element to it. All natural lighting. There's no flood lighting or anything like that at all. What else have I made notes of before? I've obviously mentioned about the lack of soundtrack, and yet again, I know it sounds very simplistic, but that's pretty much it. intense violence and war. That's all. It pretty much sums it up.
Apart from we need a score.
8.9.
Ooh.
Good film. Good film.
Wow, excellent. That is
8.9.
Bang in the middle of our board.
Yes, it is. Nikki, what have you got for us?
So on IMDb, it's currently 7.9.
Yep.
Did you see that there was a little nepo baby in there? If I say Sopranos.
All right. Okay. Which one?
So James Gandolfini's son.
Yep.
Michael Gandolfini.
Right.
Who plays Lieutenant McDonald.
Ah. Right. Okay. I'm with you. Yes. I'm just scratching now. I didn't realise that. To be fair, though, I didn't watch that much of The Sopranos. I know.
Did you not?
No.
Oh, you'd love it. It's
I know.
amazing.
I'm sure I would do.
Michael Gandolfini. He is known for The Many Saints of Newark, Daredevil, Born Again, and obviously Warfare. Just quickly going back to Peter's fact about Saving Private Ryan, all the principal actors except Matt Damon,
That was it.
underwent several days of grueling army training. Damon was spared that, so the other actors would resent him and would convey their feelings in their performances. Back to Warfare, it was filmed chronologically over 5 weeks. The film is based on the memories of each SEAL team member present during the mission.
SEAL, sorry, not Marine.
That's the same thing. Potato, isn't it?
Water in it.
Each scene of the film is corroborated by at least 2 or more SEAL team members interviewed by Ray Mendoza and Alex Garland.
Amazing.
Which was quite good.
And I really felt that although they were fighting against the oppressors, and obviously shooting at, the enemy, it was weirdly respectful towards them as well, which I thought was very fascinating.
And the cast did not actually audition for this.
Didn't they?
No, they were selected from interviews with the directors. This was because the directors were looking for the right attitude in each actor.
Right.
They knew the film would be a tough shoot and required actors to push themselves both mentally and physically.
Right.
That's really cool.
No, it was intense. It was very intense. Lots of screaming. Lots of loud bangs and screaming. Pretty much the whole movie.
So that's going on our board then.
That is going on board.
8.9.
8.9.
Hit the board,
There
absolutely
you go.
right.
Perfect. Good.
There you go.
So there you go. So it's Sinners, Drop, which we're not really advocating,
We're absolutely not advocating.
and Warfare.
Yeah.
100%.
So I just sometimes wonder.
Yes.
What were we doing this time last year?
I wonder, what were we doing this time last year?
Yeah.
Let's go back. Nikki's
Is that my theme tune?
That is now, yeah.
So it was week 26.
Week 26.
And you had
That's
both
halfway through the year.
turned up in monochrome.
Beautiful. That happened many a time.
And
Yes.
it's probably one of the quickest intros we'd done before Peter did his papas. Because you literally both said, "Oh, we're in monochrome," and then Peter papa'd.
All right, okay.
Peter said it was 6 months
I
since
think this episode might be in it.
Yeah.
Peter said it was 6 months since we had started this podcast.
Yep.
And we had seen 32 films so far.
Wow.
And James said he was aiming for 100 for the year. And Peter said, "I think we're going to smash that."
Oh,
and I
which we
think
did.
we pretty much did.
Yeah, easily.
And I think this is... I thought last week's quote from Peter was my favourite.
However.
This one might be. He said, "I'm kind of learning I was probably wrong."
Do you know what? I'm going to get a T-shirt made for that for you. I'm kind of learning.
I was probably wrong.
And James, Peter was trying to describe a plot, and James said, "Carry on with the plot, and I'm going to slip in a moment. Warm up, though." At number 1...
I'm still trying to slip in.
At number 1, it was still Back to Black,
Right.
which is available on Netflix, Sky, YouTube, Google, Apple, and Amazon. We reviewed Abigail, which is available to watch on now Amazon Prime, YouTube, Google Play, and Apple TV and the Sky
Oh, I might go and
Store.
watch that again, actually.
Yeah,
That's
so
quite a
it was
half-decent
it was
vampire
quite
movie.
Cute. Yeah, it was really cute.
So we
and
gave it-
Civil War's available to stream at the moment as well. I saw that on
Yes, it is,
the
yeah.
Sky thing
Absolutely.
the other day.
And so is Conclave.
Yeah, brilliant.
We gave it
Wonder why.
5.6 Peter said it was a good waste of a couple of hours and does exactly what it says on the tin.
Yeah.
I noted that the girl who played Abigail is the daughter in Wicked Little Letters, which is actually what we are showing at Bourne End Cinema in May.
Oh, she's so good at this.
That's why she's our producer, mate.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
also reviewed Challengers, which is now available on Prime,
Yeah.
Sky Store, Google, and Apple
I
TV,
don't think I
and
watched
you
it
gave
again.
it a 5.4.
Ah,
Have you watched Challenges since?
yeah, I did.
Did you?
Yeah, I watched it again about 2 or 3 months ago.
And?
Do you agree with the score we
Have
gave
you-
it?
No,
have you
I think we
increased your
I think
score?
we undercooked it.
Did
yeah.
you?
Yeah, I thought I quite enjoyed it the second time I watched
Did
it.
you?
Yeah.
Okay. Great director, great actors. Didn't do it for me.
Yeah, it didn't. It's
Not
about
at
sport, that's the problem.
Yeah. Was it about sport?
Peter got very excited about the fact we'd watched a sport film.
He
Yeah.
did indeed. That's an amazing Nicky sequel.
That was really good.
Back to present.
Yes.
Yes. It's like a time machine, isn't it?
So I just pardon.
Talking of presents,
Yes.
we have a gift for people tomorrow night.
We do indeed. What's that?
It is the Bourne End Cinema, our monthly cinema at Bourne End Library,
That's right.
called the Bookhouse Cinema.
Yes.
What film were we watching, Peter?
Porn things.
Poor things. That's right. It's the furious jumping
Of Emma Stone.
Emma Stone.
This is one of the films we feel kind of like
Encapsulates.
exemplifies
I think
the
so.
Popcorn Pundits.
I think so.
We got all giddy about it before
I
it
got
happened. We watched it. We were giddy about it afterwards. We absolutely loved it.
It's number 12 in our charts.
Yeah.
Yes.
We
Come and
gave,
watch it with us.
yeah, we gave it a 9.1, so we want you to come along and see if you agree, if you disagree, if you think it should be higher up in our
Yes.
top 10.
It is such a brilliantly funny, interesting, quirky movie that is impossible to really describe unless you have a podcast.
Yeah, well, the costumes are amazing. The cinematography is amazing. The sets are incredible.
Incredible.
The characters are absolutely
Wonderful.
super duper.
And
And there's bubbles.
Mark Ruffalo's in it.
Yes.
What could you want?
Exactly.
Yeah, he's brilliant, brilliant in this film.
So that is Friday night at the Bourne End Cinema. It's our Bookhouse cinema release.
Yeah.
How many times are you saying cinema?
Cinema.
Peter, how can people listen to us?
Oh,
Or
they can
find us as well?
Okay, they can watch us on YouTube.
Yeah.
They can find us on Facebook. They can stream our podcast from wherever they stream their podcasts from. Any single one. We're on every single one of them. If they want to message us, they can leave a little comment underneath our YouTube video or on our Facebook page or on our Instagram. Or when you're streaming your podcast from the thing, there's a message us button.
There is. Message us.
Yeah, so message us.
Yes,
Do it.
Yeah, exactly.
But leave your name.
Yes. Get in contact with us.
And a review.
That'd be fantastic.
We haven't done reviews for a couple of weeks.
We
have
haven't, and my son was going to give us a review about Warfare, but he didn't, so I'll get him to text it to us for next week.
Okay, cool. And then we can play that after I've done mine.
Amazing. Right, I think we're done. Popcorn Pundits. I rushed the text, so we got all 3 films in.
Mate, I tell you
Week
what,
78.
that was a lot better than I thought.
Wow, thank you very
I
much.
should actually listen to it.